In the past couple of years, many Hong Kongers have used the BNO visa to move to the UK. The first thing they look at, of course, is the cost of living. Life basically revolves around four things: clothing, food, housing, and transport. Oh, and cats. Can't forget the cats. If I speak honestly from years of living and working in the UK, I can tell you that apart from housing, the cost of food, clothing, and transport isn't that much different. Of course, if you eat out every meal, that's another story. With the financial means of a Hong Kong middle-class family, renting or even buying a place in London Zone 2 or Zone 3 is possible. So, it's not out of reach at all, and you shouldn't have to struggle like he did. Why isn't it tasty? I bought a few loaves of bread, let me clarify, this isn't an advert. But as for the local British middle class, they're actually not that keen on living too close to central London. The two schools I'm introducing this time are located in the south of London, which is exactly the kind of area many British middle class families prefer to live in. Not only is the cost of living a bit lower, but you also get more living space. Now let me do a bit of advertising. If any BNO parent immigrants have questions about schooling, you can give us a call at Britannia. Apart from Hong Kong, our colleagues at the London office are also ready to serve you, so there's no need to worry about any time difference issues. So where are we today? We're in a place called South Croydon. Today we're visiting a school called Whitgift School. South Croydon is in the south of London, in a suburban area in Zone 5, surrounded by quite a few valleys. There are only about 15,000 people living here, so the environment is quite peaceful. It's about half an hour by train to central London, and the trains are fairly frequent, so quite a lot of people commute from here to work every day. Just a bit further up is a place called Croydon, which is one of the largest commercial areas in Greater London. Over there, you'll find plenty of shopping malls, nightlife, and it's much livelier. According to the 2020 development plan, many different companies and businesses will be moving in, which will bring a lot of... So there are more opportunities and a lot of new buildings are being completed. The safety and environment in South Croydon are generally better than in Croydon itself, so property prices are a bit higher. On average, house prices are around £450,000. The most popular apartments at the moment are about £280,000, and semi-detached houses can even go up to £550,000. That's still cheaper than London, but honestly, it's not exactly cheap by UK standards. There are actually quite a few good schools here. This time I'm taking everyone to see a boys' school in South Croydon. There's one called Whitgift School. This school has a long history, and it's a prestigious boys' school. Many people from Hong Kong have heard of it. It specializes in nurturing talented students, both academically and in sports. It's actually not easy at all for international students to get in.
Whitgift School is probably the dream school for many parents, simply because of its excellent academic results. The school has consistently ranked among the top 100 schools in the UK for academic performance. Besides its strong results, the location is also top-notch, situated in Zone 5 in South London. If you're coming from Heathrow Airport, it takes about an hour by car. It's around 45 minutes from London Zone 1, and by train, it's just 10 minutes to the city centre of Croydon.
Compared to other boarding schools, Whitgift School is indeed relatively small, covering only 42 acres, but it has a very long history, having been established for over 400 years. The founder, John Whitgift, opened the boys' school, Whitgift School, and the Whitgift Foundation in 1596. Later, the Whitgift Foundation also established Whitgift School's sister schools in Croydon, the Girls' School, Old Palace School, and Trinity School.
Although the school itself is relatively small, the facilities are just as complete. There are football pitches, basketball courts, a gym, a swimming pool, rugby fields, and cricket grounds. There's also a medical centre, library, dining hall, and so on. They even have a woodland trail and a water garden. For such a small school to accommodate so many facilities, Whitgift is truly a master of space management.
Apart from the facilities mentioned above, as a boarding school, of course, there are dormitories. But there aren't many boarding places. The school has about 1,500 students, and less than 5% are boarders, which is just over 100 students. So there aren't many international students who manage to get a boarding place. As for what boarding life is like, let's hear from someone with first-hand experience.
There are 3 types of rooms in the boarding house. There's a single room, a double room, and the triple rooms. Single rooms are reserved only for upper 6, and normally from year 9 to year 12 we use the double or triple rooms. Years do not mix in the rooms, but this year we've changed quite a bit from last year, and we don't have like localized year groups anymore, so it makes socializing much easier, like talking to upper 6 or like talking to even year 9s or year 9s, talking about like to us and asking questions. It's much easier. And I think it makes a great environment for socializing with other peers, like asking for homework or asking about the latest basketball matches or football matches. or just getting people to the common room to play a game of pool or ping pong?
Yeah, I'm the boarding house vice captain, and what a general day in the boarding house looks like is that everyone has to be down at breakfast at 8 a.m, and after that, at 8:25, is registration. Then we have school, and after school, which ends at 4, is our free time. We have our free time until 5 p.m, after which is our study period. That's our time to do homework, and after that, from around 6:15 to 7 o'clock is our dinner time. After dinner, for the higher forms, there's another study period, while for the lower forms, it's basically their fun time. From 8:30 to 9:30 for the higher forms is basically gym time or sports time if they want to. The sports hall is open for us to go to the gym, to play basketball, or to do any other sporting activities we want. And for the weekends, on Saturdays, it's normally pretty relaxing. We have a brunch at 10 a.m, and after that, it's pretty much free time. The gym and the swimming pool are open from around 2 to 4.
So, following up on the weekends, yesterday was Saturday. But on Sunday, we do have compulsory trips for 3rd and 4th form. We've been to many historic places and castles around the UK, which have all been really interesting for trips. For the lower forms, we've also been go-karting and to the cinema to see new movies, which have all been really fun.
I'm a family leader in the boarding house, and I lead a family of 17. Well, that sounds really big, but actually it's a great experience as all the boarders are assigned to a family, which has a tutor who takes care of us. It's really great, especially for new boarders when you're kind of new to the school. It's great to have a group that's in your quote-unquote family, someone you can talk to, someone you can hang out with.
When I first arrived at Wick, this was last year for Year 10, and personally I didn't really get homesick much because there was already a great system in place. You arrive at school and the school immerses you straight away with activities, and you get to know your peers, and it's already like you're forming a family in itself. So any homesickness kind of goes away in maybe 2 or 3 days.
These students here are so smart, their English is excellent, and they're so polite when they speak. I always tell parents that sending their children to study in the UK, seeing how the schools educate students to become well-mannered, knowledgeable and socially adept individuals is even more important than just chasing academic results. It's much more useful for their future development as well. If my own child could be like them, I would definitely be proud of him.
That's right, we've finished the whole tour now. Although the time wasn't particularly long, the overall feeling was really good. This morning there was a bit of traffic, so we ended up arriving late. But as soon as we entered the car park, we saw the admissions officer already standing outside the reception waiting for us. The whole environment felt very welcoming. Compared to other traditional boarding schools, the size here isn't particularly large. Some schools, to be honest, you have to walk 15 minutes just to get from one place to another. But for this school, I'd describe it as small but perfectly formed. Everything you need is here, even if it's not huge.
It's small, but has everything you need. Even though the campus is only about 40-something acres, when you go inside, the swimming pool and other facilities are actually really spacious. It's really compact, to be honest. It's actually quite small and doesn't cover a large area. But since you're in London, you get more experiences, like the school's boarding house will actually take you out and about. People at the school always say, being so close to London, you have to make use of this location. So maybe some parents might think, well, wouldn't it be better to be somewhere more remote, just focusing on studying? But so far, when we've interviewed our classmates, to be honest, I was a bit shocked. They all just hang out together, play video games together. The first time I heard this, I thought, wow, why is that? But then what the teachers who hosted us said actually made a lot of sense. The adults at this school really give the students a lot of freedom, don't they?
Yes, exactly, that's the feeling. For example, when we were just doing the interview, it was actually the students' first time on camera, so they made mistakes just like we do. But the teachers would give them a lot of guidance, telling them not to be so nervous and that it's fine to just talk about their own feelings. Yes, and they also don't require the students to say how great the school is or anything like that. It's all left up to them. I feel that the school, as you just mentioned, gives a lot of freedom, but at the same time, there's no sense of hierarchy. The whole thing is really about teachers and students blending together. It's quite different from some traditional schools, maybe like the old boys' schools. Yes, those boys' schools were a bit more serious, and seeing a teacher would make you really nervous and tense up. But here, you don't get that feeling at all. That's right.
Today, men and women are becoming more and more equal. Many parents no longer just hope for a son like in the old days, especially for fathers, having a daughter and seeing her as the love of their previous life. It's just incredibly sweet, honestly.
Just like Whitgift School, all-boys schools are becoming rare. Many boarding schools that were boys only have transitioned to co-educational, for example, the school we're about to introduce.
The tour guide will take us to Caterham School, so let's set off. After half an hour's drive, we've arrived at Caterham School, in the area as Surrey District.
Hello everyone, so where are we now? We're in a place in the UK called Caterham, which is located within Surrey. Surrey is the 12th most populous county in the UK, with a population of around 1.2 million people. Surrey itself is a relatively affluent area. Many employees from mid to large London companies choose to live here. In this area, there are 4 racecourses and golf courses, and the lifestyle here is quite peaceful, perfect for families to settle down. The average property price here in the UK is about $490,000. Perhaps it's because the environment is so attractive, so families really like it here. In terms of property transactions, detached houses are the most popular, with an average price reaching $760,000. However, compared to the neighbouring affluent area of Guildford, it's actually a bit cheaper here. Today we're taking a look at Caterham School, which was established back in the 18th century. It's a well-known co-educational school near London, and the school is quite strict, which makes it very popular with parents.
Situated in a valley occupying 200 acres, Caterham was founded in 1811. Originally a boys' school, after nearly 2 centuries, in 1995 it merged with nearby Whitgift School, a girls' school, becoming co-educational. Caterham is renowned for its strict discipline and outstanding academic results.
In 2023, 66% of students at A-level achieved A-star or A grades, and for GCSEs, 90% attained A-star or A. There are quite a few good schools in the area, and among co-educational schools, Caterham is not considered the very best in the district.
Caterham's strength has always been in the sciences, particularly in preparing students for entry into courses like medicine, dentistry, and veterinary science. The school is renowned for this. 85% of students go on to top universities in the UK, with quite a few gaining admission to Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial College London, University College London, and so on.
But the school doesn't rest on its laurels just because of its outstanding academic results. The school believes that truly excellent education is not just about academic achievement. That's why in recent years they've also focused on the all-round development of students, establishing a range of scholarships, including those for academics, art and design, drama, music, performing arts and sports.
Today we've come to Caterham School. The place is located in the Surrey area, right on the border of London and the edge of a rural area. So in terms of the study environment, when you look out from your boarding house, you'll see lots of boats. Its biggest feature is that it's really nestled in the hills. Just now, we were saying to our colleagues that it feels a bit like Taekwon in Hong Kong. If you come here, I believe students will feel a bit of that same vibe.
So you'll end up doing a lot of work out here. So, as you mentioned earlier, where did we go? Right, so when we first arrived, we went to the dining hall. It just so happened to be mealtime, so it was quite busy. We saw a lot of familiar faces there, and actually the proportion of Asians was pretty high. After that, we were taken to a science lab, and then we also visited the swimming pool, the boarding house, and the sports and sports centre. So far, we've walked quite a lot. There are loads of stairs, really a lot. Yeah, and another special thing is that their boarding house is actually separate from the school. We had to leave the school grounds and walk uphill for about 10 minutes, almost like climbing halfway up a hill before we reached the boarding house.
Well, as everyone knows, the boarding ratio at Caterham isn't particularly high, so on the flip side, because there are fewer boarders, the distribution of boarding rooms actually suits Hong Kong families or students who are used to living on their own at home. It's actually pretty good, to be honest. We went to have a look at the girls' boarding house, and we saw that most of the rooms are en suite, and there are relatively few shared rooms. When you get to Year 9, there are some, because they hope students can integrate more quickly. So there are those larger rooms where 4 girls share together. Considering the school's long history and strong academics, I believe the boarding house setup here is really quite good. For students who are considering or planning to come to this school, they might find this a very attractive aspect. Since the school is built on a hillside, students actually get quite a bit of exercise just moving between classrooms and facilities. The school has also made use of this advantage to build a number of unique outdoor adventure facilities, which are really quite special. Now these are the real deal. That multi-story high treetop adventure, just looking at it makes me want to have a go myself.
Outdoor activities aren't just about sports, you've got some relatively quieter options too. For example, at Caterham, near the school's forest area, they've built a small apiary so students can better understand the ecosystem and the importance of bees to nature. This isn't your average home setup either. Just look at their neat uniforms and friendly smiles. I wonder if they sell honey here.
After watching for a while, you've probably noticed that all the students in the school are using iPads in class. Caterham is one of the few schools in the UK recognized by Apple as a distinguished school, making full use of information technology in its teaching. The school provides every student with an iPad, and most classes are taught using iPads. Students can use their iPads to submit homework, interact with classmates, or read teachers' comments. Teachers also make use of AirPlay technology to showcase outstanding students' work in class for others to refer to. We've just finished the whole Caterham tour, and we also learned something quite impressive. It turns out we're the first agency from Hong Kong to come here for filming. But honestly, Hong Kong parents are already very familiar with Caterham, so there's really no need for us to introduce it in any special way. Just to share a bit, along the way, we saw a lot of students who seemed quite relaxed. The atmosphere was really easygoing. It's hard to imagine. You wouldn't think it would be so laid back, right? You'd expect it to be a bit more tense, wouldn't you? This is a traditional British boarding school that's considered one of the top in terms of academic results. So I had a chat with the head of admissions to ask him what the secret is. How is it that even in such a non-pressurized environment, the students can achieve such excellent results? So what's the secret?
Well, it's because their admissions are already very strict. The students who get in are already of a very high standard. To be honest, the learning environment inside might not be exactly what parents imagine. It's not some boring, stifling or overly packed schedule, is it? What we're saying is, once you've had enough playtime, the quality of your studying will actually be even higher. So as we've said, once you've made it into a top school, your grades will naturally be good.
Speaking of the BNO visa, actually my older sister has already emigrated to the UK. Soon we'll film a video to introduce the schools her two children are attending, so make sure to hit the subscribe button.